If someone handed you a bottle of pills and said, these will calm your stress hormones, sharpen your focus, support your thyroid, and help you actually sleep at night, you'd probably be skeptical. I would be. But what if I told you that plants have been doing exactly that for thousands of years across cultures as different as Ayurvedic India, ancient China, and the high plateaus of Siberia? Well, welcome back to Reclaim Your Life Force. I'm Lynn, and today we're going deep into adaptogens, nature's original hormone helpers. But we're not going to do this the way many wellness content creators do it, just rattling off a list of superfoods. We're going to match the right adaptogen to your specific exhaustion pattern, because what works beautifully for one woman can actually backfire for another. Stay through to the end, because I'm covering dosing, timing, and a very important caution for those of you who are what I called wired and tired. The word adaptogen was actually coined by a Soviet scientist in the 1940s, but the plants themselves are ancient. An adaptogen is an herb that helps your body adapt to stress, not by numbing you or pumping you up, but by helping your adrenal and endocrine system find its own equilibrium. Technically, they work on what's called the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is your body's master stress regulation system. When that axis gets dysregulated, everything downstream goes haywire. Cortisol patterns, thyroid function, sex hormones, blood sugar, sleep. In traditional Chinese medicine, adaptogens are often classified as Shen tonics or Qi tonics. They build vital essence and anchor the spirit. In Ayurveda, they're Rasayanas, rejuvenating compounds that renew tissue at the cellular level. Two entirely different cosmologies arriving at the same conclusion. These plants restore life force. If you've taken the Energy Alchemy Quiz, you may already know your primary exhaustion pattern. If you haven't, the link is in the description. It takes about 3 minutes, and it will change how you understand your body. Because once you know your pattern, everything, including which adaptogens to reach for, becomes much clearer. Let me walk you through each one. If your pattern is hormonal hurricane, you're likely dealing with high or erratic cortisol, thyroid sluggishness, disrupted progesterone, and that exhaustion that coexists with inner chaos. Hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings that catch you off guard. Your adaptogen is Ashwagandha, Withania somnifera, known in Sanskrit as the herb that gives you the strength of a horse. In Ayurveda, it's a supreme vata pacifying rasayana. It warms, grounds, and rebuilds ojas, which is the refined essence of vitality, your body's deep reserves. In traditional Chinese medicine terms, ashwagandha tonifies kidney yang, that deep warming fire that sustains our drive, our metabolism, and our hormonal root. When kidney yang is deficient, we have cold hands and feet, low libido, bone deep exhaustion. Ashwagandha begins to rekindle that fire. The research backs this up. Clinical trials using KSM-66 extract shows significant reduction in cortisol, improved thyroid markers in subclinical hypothyroid, and better progesterone to estrogen ratio. Exactly what a hormonal hurricane needs. On a medical astrology note, ashwagandha has strong Saturnian resonance. It builds slowly, deeply, and asks for patience. If you're moving through a Saturn transit right now, particularly a return, a square, or opposition, this herb is your ally. The somatic storer holds everything in the body. Tension in the hips, jaw, shoulders. She may look fine on the outside, but is running on fumes and stored cortisol. She often has that flat, depleted exhaustion that makes it hard to start anything. Rhodiola rosea, the golden root of Siberia and the Himalayas, is her plant. Rhodiola has a fascinating adaptogenic action. It enhances energy production at the cellular level through mitochondrial support, reduces fatigue compounds like beta endorphin depletion, and has genuine antidepressant activity through serotonin and dopamine modulation. In traditional Chinese medicine, rhodiola activates blood and moves qi. It's indicated for what practitioners call heart-blood deficiency with qi stagnation. The somatic store is often exactly this: stuck energy that can't circulate, vitality that isn't flowing. In Ayurveda, rhodiola is considered more of a pitta pacifying tonic. It cools excess fire and sharpens mental clarity without the heating properties of some other adaptogens. The medical astrology note here is that rhodiola resonates with Mars energy. It activates, initiates, and gets things moving. Those with weakened Mars placements or who are in Mars-ruled periods of their chart may find it particularly useful. If you're a transitional transformer, you're in the thick of metamorphosis. Perimenopause, major life shifts, or the identity renegotiation that comes with this season of life. You may feel unmoored, anxious underneath the exhaustion, or like you can't quite trust your body's signals anymore. Holy basil, also called tulsi, Ocimum sanctum, is your plant. In India, tulsi is considered the queen of herbs, a sacred plant that literally lives in the courtyards of temples. She is beloved precisely because she works on the nervous system and endocrine system simultaneously, helping the body metabolize cortisol while also functioning as a genuine nervine, calming the mind without sedating it. Tulsi is classified in Ayurveda as a tridoshic herb, meaning she's appropriate for all three constitutional types. That makes her the most universally safe adaptogen on our list. She's also the most delicious as a tea, which matters because ritual is medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine, Tulsi's action aligns with heart and lung meridians. She supports the Shen, the spirit mind, and helps the body release grief and unprocessed emotion that gets stored in the lung organ system. For women in major transitions, this is profound. On a medical astrology note, holy basil is a moon herb, nurturing, rhythmic, responsive to cycles. If you're working with lunar energy in your healing, whether it's new moon intentions or full moon releases, incorporating Tulsi tea into those rituals is a beautiful amplifier. Constitutional mismatch women are often the ones who've tried everything and feel like nothing works, or works and then stops. Their deep exhaustion comes from being chronically out of alignment with their own constitution, often through years of living by someone else's rhythm. Maca, the Pydium mayanae, the Peruvian root, works differently from the other adaptogens I've discussed. Rather than targeting a specific hormone or system, Maca is what we call an endocrine modulator. It doesn't contain hormones. It communicates with your hypothalamus and pituitary to help your own endocrine system recalibrate. This is why it can help with both low and high estrogen, both fatigue and anxiety. In Ayurveda, Maca is a warming Vata and Kapha tonic. It builds Ojas and Shukra, the reproductive essence, and is ideal for women whose constitutional pattern has been depleted by overgiving, undernourishing, and disconnection from their own body's wisdom. Traditional Chinese medicine doesn't have a direct equivalent for Maca, but its action aligns beautifully with tonifying the kidney jing, the prenatal essence that governs our deep vitality, reproductive health, and aging process. When jing is depleted, we age faster, lose our hormonal ground, and feel disconnected from our life force. The medical astrology note here is that Maca has a Venus-Jupiter quality: abundance, nourishment, reconnection with pleasure and the body. If Venus is under stress in your chart, or you're in a period of Venus-ruled transits, Maca supports this recalibration. Let me give you the practical piece, because this is where so many women go wrong, not with the wrong herb, but with the wrong dose, the wrong form, or the wrong time of day. First, always choose quality. Adaptogens are only as good as their sourcing and extraction. For ashwagandha, look for KSM-66 or sensoril, SENSORIL, on the label. These are clinically studied forms. For rhodiola, you want to standardize extract with at least 3% rosavins, ROSAVINS, and 1% salidroside, SALIDROSIDE. Maca should always be gelatinized, not raw. It's easier on the digestion. Second, timing matters more than most people realize. Ashwagandha is best taken in the evening. It supports your body's natural cortisol descent and promotes deep sleep. Taking it in the morning can create afternoon sluggishness for some women. Rhodiola is a morning-only herb. It's genuinely energizing. Taking it afternoon can disrupt sleep, even if you don't feel it immediately. Holy basil can be used throughout the day. It's beautifully afternoon appropriate for that 2 to 4 p.m. cortisol dip. As a tea, it creates a natural ritual pause. Maca is also best in the morning, blended into a smoothie or warm drink. Some women find cycling it with the lunar cycle amplifies results. Building in the first half of the month, tapering after the full moon. Third, duration. Adaptogens are not pharmaceuticals. They build gradually over weeks. Most clinical trials are run at 6 to 8 weeks minimum. Give your herbs some time. Now, I want to speak directly to those of you who are what I call wired and tired. You know who you are. You're exhausted, but you can't turn off. You might be lying in bed with a racing mind, even though your body is depleted. You might startle easily, feel anxious underneath the fatigue, or find that caffeine now makes you feel worse instead of better. This pattern, which often corresponds to dysregulated cortisol with an elevated nighttime reading, requires a very specific approach with adaptogens. So for wired and tired women, avoid rhodiola, at least initially. Its activating, energizing properties can intensify the wired and tired cycle and worsen sleep. Use ashwagandha with confidence. It's one of the most clinically validated herbs for reducing that high cortisol, anxious, exhausted pattern. Lean into holy basil heavily. It's your best ally. Multiple cups of tulsi tea daily, plus the supplement form, can genuinely move the needle on that sympathetic nervous system overdrive. Be cautious with maca if there's significant estrogen dominance alongside the wired and tired pattern. Get clear on your hormonal picture first. In Ayurvedic terms, wired and tired is often a vata-pitta imbalance. Too much air and fire with no earth to ground it. The protocol is to cool, ground, and rebuild. Ashwagandha and tulsi are doing exactly that. In traditional Chinese medicine, this pattern typically reflects a kidney yin deficiency with rising yang. The water has dried up and the fire is uncontained. The herbs that nourish yin are your path. Ashwagandha, tulsi, and some of the gentler Chinese tonics like He Sha Wu or Ramania. That I'll cover another time. The astrology note with this is that wired and tired often intensifies during Mercury retrograde, full moons near your natal Uranus or Mars, and during Aries and Gemini heavy transits. If you notice seasonal or lunar flare-ups, tracking them can help you plan your adaptogen protocol around those windows. Your body is not broken. It's been asking for this kind of support for a long time, and it knows how to respond when it receives it. Adaptogens are not magic. They're medicine. Ancient, patient, intelligent medicine that works with your biology rather than overriding it. And when you match the right herb to your specific exhaustion pattern, you stop throwing things at a wall and start having real, lasting conversations with your own endocrine system. If you're inside the Life Force Reclamation Program, an adaptogen protocol worksheet is on its way in a future module to help you build a personalized plan with guidance on herb selection, dosing, and cycling with your lunar or menstrual rhythm. If you're not in the program yet and this is resonating, the link to learn more is in the description. And if you haven't taken the Energy Alchemy Quiz, please do. It's free. It takes less than 3 minutes, and it will tell you your primary exhaustion pattern right now, so you know exactly which of these herbs is your starting point. Come find me in the comments. Tell me, which adaptogen are you most curious about? I read every one. Until next week, Honor your life force. It's worth reclaiming.